Well, hello, 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 hello. Welcome to Wait With Me. If you're listening to this in replay, the show is going to start in about 4 minutes. So you can fast forward past this spot and get right into the show if that's what you want to do. If you're new to Fireside and the next time you come to the show, you're going to come live, there's a couple of things you can do. You can hit any of the emojis across the bottom, which are the claps, hand clap emoji, the laugh emoji, the party sound emoji, and you can hit those anytime during the show, and we will hear them and see them, which is pretty cool. Also, if you are new to Fireside, when you're in the show live, you can also hit that react button and then choose a bunch of emojis, different emojis, and press send. You can do the same thing and choose an emoji and type in a comment or a question, and we will see it and read it. Also, you can use the Q&A button to do the same thing. So that's all redundant. You got several ways you can do that. You can request to speak by hitting the little equal sign on the lower left-hand corner and request to speak. It'll work that way. And also the plus sign that says speakers, you can request to speak that way also. And bear with us, the show will start in about 3 minutes. But again, if you're listening to this in replay, you can fast forward past this spot. We'll be right with you. Hello, hello, hello. If you're listening in replay or you're here live, the show will be starting in about 3 minutes. In about 3 minutes, Jill, our host Jill, will be here on video and ready to talk to you, which will be wonderful. For those of you that are coming into the coming into the audience right now, we got that out right now. There's a couple of things you can do if you're new to Fireside. So you can hit any of the emojis across the bottom. So you can clap or you can laugh or hit the party sound and we'll hear them right away. But you can also hit the react button and choose an emoji and hit send, and we'll get the emoji and hear the sound that goes along with it. You can also leave a comment or question by doing the same thing. Hit the react button, choose an emoji, type a question or a comment, and we will be able to see it and read it, which will be pretty cool. Also, remember to share this with all your family and friends and share it with the people that don't like you because they might like the show. That would be funny. The show will start in just a moment or two, so Jill will be with you in just a few.
Hello, 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 everyone. It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's time for Wait With Me, and I'm your host, Jill Cox Cordova. I can't believe it's already been another week. It just seems like last week was the longest week ever, and this week is still going. But I would like to welcome everyone here. I see Jen, I see Shamika, I see Daisy, I see Rhonda, I see Minette. I see it's either Kara or Kara. I see Ash G96 and I see BB Garcia. Welcome, everyone. I'm excited that you're here. If it's your first time of being in this audience, this is the show where I talk about my struggles and my triumphs on my weight loss journey. And it is a journey for me. It's not that I'm trying to lose weight for a special occasion, although that would be nice. It's for the rest of my life that I'm trying to become healthier and fit. And if it's a bonus that I look better, then that's a bonus. So I'd like to go ahead and get started with my first segment that I call.
Oh, Jill.
Yeah.
So I see that there's some new audience members. So I think they might hang around if they know you are going to weigh yourself during this show on camera live.
And I really don't want to tonight, but I will because that is what I do every single week. I consider my audience my accountability partners because just your showing up, and I thank you for showing up, holds me accountable and makes me make better choices throughout the week. Although I didn't really do that this past week, but we'll get to that. So I'd like to get to my first segment.
This is the deal. This is the deal.
All right. I'd also like to say hello to Stefan. And after this show, at the top of the hour, I hope that everybody goes to his show, which is called The Conversation. And he has a conversation with you. Well, he hopes to have a conversation with you and where you're the conversationalist. But this is the deal tonight. I said that I would talk about how being disciplined with my weight loss has led to discipline in other areas of my life. But here's the deal. I am not good with discipline with my weight loss. I'm really not. I have said many times on this show that I am not perfect. And last week, I just abandoned all control with my weight loss. And I actually went out 3 different times, which is a record for me since COVID. I tend to stay in my house and never go anywhere. But since I last was here on this show, I went out 3 different times, and all 3 of those times were meals. So the first meal I actually did great because I'm following a plan, and it said that I could have a non-creamy soup, and I did. And I did that. I had soup at this restaurant, and the person that I was hanging with, she did a great job of finding a restaurant that had like farm to table, fresh ingredients and things like that. So I did really well at that lunch. But the problem is I haven't worked out since Sunday when I usually work out 5 times a week. I then went that same night to dinner with my husband and 2 of his friends, and I had yams. I had grilled chicken, but it was a big portion. I did only eat half of it, so that was good. But the mashed yams were I don't know what all was in it. In fact, I should have asked. But I'm sure that was not that they somehow or another turned a sweet potato into something non-healthy. And then the next day I had the leftovers. And then Monday night, I've been doing intermittent fasting, and I got all off track of the 8-hour window that I'm supposed to eat in. It was long after the 8-hour window that I ate 2 different times. We went 2 different places. Like we carried the party on the road. and had all sorts of stuff. I had catfish, which was grilled, but I also had red beans and rice, which had everything in it. And it was wonderful. And then I had the leftovers the next day. So I'm probably the last person who should be talking about discipline tonight. But if you've been following me for these past 11 weeks, you know that most of the time I am pretty disciplined with my weight loss because you all hold me accountable and I hold myself accountable. And I really, really want to get healthier. So, what I have noticed is that the times that I am disciplined with my weight loss, so one thing leads to another, right? So, if you exercise, it makes you not want to defeat the purpose of that exercise and have something unhealthy. So, I've gotten disciplined with what I eat after I've gotten disciplined with my exercise. Like I said, I try to work out five days a week. Daisy's in the audience, and she and I have a pact to do yoga at least 3 times a week. And I've been doing yoga and Get Fit with Rick, which is walking steps or sometimes combat moves, like you're punching. And so I really enjoy that. But for whatever reason, I let that go this last week. I don't know why. I guess I just didn't want to do it. So I didn't. And I've also noticed that when when I'm disciplined with my fitness and my nutrition, I have more energy. And so that makes me have energy to do other things that I found that before these 11 weeks, I was just too tired to do anything after I got off work. But for the last 20 something days, I have been writing again, which I had stopped doing for myself for years. But I'm writing again. In fact, last night I told myself, I'll just write only for 30 minutes just to do something. But it turned more into an hour and a half and 2 hours. So I find that when I'm taking care of myself, if I'm disciplined with one area of my life, it tends to carry over in other aspects of my life because I'm like, I've created this habit of doing this. And once I get good at it, once I actually have made it a habit, then I start on another habit so that, I have all these habits going at once. But I try to perfect one, or master one, I should say, since I'm not perfect, still not perfect. Then and perfection is not what I'm striving to be anyway, because no one is perfect. So I find that I just keep adding on and I'm becoming better and better at the things that truly bring me joy. So in spite of just losing all control with my weight loss since you last saw me, I am back on track. I have, because I'm doing other things that I'm disciplined with. So I'm now back to focusing on the health first and foremost. So I just want to encourage you that when you strive to do something for yourself that brings you joy, or that you're just really trying to change in your life for the better, once you master it and it truly does become a habit, you just do it without really even thinking about it, or you need it. I remember years ago when I was more disciplined with my exercise, I would walk 6 days a week, 6 miles, 6 miles a week, Monday through Friday, as soon as I got off work. And I would grab my dog, and she was always willing to go, except for that one time that she looked up and saw that we were going up a mountain. She just like, nope, I'm not going. And she laid down on, put all her legs out and would not move. But we had, that was our thing. That was our routine where, for stress relief for me and to, walk her, we would walk 6 miles as soon as I got off work. And that was just a great experience for me. I'm nowhere near that now with my commitment to exercise, but I'm getting there to where it's rare. Like, this is a rarity that I haven't exercised since Sunday. Like, I haven't done that since I started and became more dedicated to getting fit. So I say to you, I encourage you to just work on one thing at a time. And then when you feel like you've got it, then add something else instead of changing everything at once. At least it's my experience that if I try to change everything at once, then nothing changes at all. So I just encourage all of you, if you're trying to do something better for yourself or just something that brings you joy, just work on that one little thing, and hopefully you'll be better. All right, so this is the deal. Now, as Tony said at the very beginning, and for those of you who don't know, that voice that you heard at the beginning is my producer and husband, Tony. He mentioned to those of you who've never been to the show that every single week I weigh myself in front of you. I know for a fact that I have gained weight since last week. And so I am reluctant to get on the scale tonight, but I know that more than anything else will hold me accountable and get me back on track. One thing that I also do before the show starts is take my measurements. And while my chest measurement stayed the same, my waist is up a half inch and my hips are up a quarter of an inch. So not that big of a difference, but it is a difference and it is an increase. And I have very rarely in these 11 weeks have gained inches. Most of the time that's at least one place I usually lose, but not this week. And that's okay. That's okay. So I'm going to gain my weight. Boy, that was a Freudian slip, right? I'm going to weigh myself. Last week I weighed 144.15, and 11 weeks ago I weighed in the 160s. So I feel like I'm doing okay. But I am definitely not expecting to beat 144.15 this week. But let's see.
I can do it. I can do it if I put my mind to it. If I put my mind to it, I can do it, do it, do it.
Oh, God.
Oh, wow. We are at 147.0 ounces. 147.0 ounces.
Let me put my ears on before I say anything.
And if you all did not hear that, it's 147.
Oh, they heard you, sweetheart. You were loud and clear.
147.
You were loud and clear on saying that. I don't even, every week I write my measurements down. I don't even have where it was that high on this page I'm looking at. So it's been it's been a while. It's been weeks, at least a month, since I've weighed that much. But like I said, I know why. I know how I got there. So I know how to fix it. And I'm okay with that. I'm definitely okay with that. This helps me actually, just about as much as anything. It's like, oh girl, these are the facts. I have to address the facts. And the fact is that last week I weighed 144.15 and lost all control. And this week I weigh 147. But that's okay because I'm not going to make any guarantees. Again, not perfect. But I'm quite confident that I will do the work, put in the work that I'm supposed to get healthier and fit. So I'm okay with that. I really am. So let's move on to the next segment.
Well, Jill, I'd like to say before you move on, I think this is the first time you ever gained any weight. Maybe you gained a few ounces before.
But I've never gained a pound. That is true.
Yeah, so that is just amazing in itself. So I still want to commend you, and I'm sure you'll get back on track. Because if it was me, I wouldn't have lost the amount of weight that you lost, and I wouldn't have been as discipline. So I still commend you. So keep
Well,
it up.
thank you. Thank you. And Denise said it's okay. And Denise, thank you for saying that. And I actually believe that. It's okay. It's okay because, I didn't gain these 50 extra pounds. I didn't gain all that in a night, and I'm not going to get it off me in a night. And I know exactly what to do. I know the work I have to put in. Some people might be more blessed and luckier that they don't have to put in as much work as I do. But for those of you who don't know, I'm only 4'11", and so my weight has to, it can only go so many places, right? And I'm 56 years old, and so with menopause and all that, it's just harder. But I know I've achieved a success most of these 11 weeks that I've been talking to you all about this, and I'm not a quitter at all, not even a little bit. So it just is kind of like just like shaking me, like, girl, get it together again. So that's what I'm going to do. That's my plan. So, all right, let's move on to my next segment.
Okay, it's your turn to share.
Okay, so this is the segment where I ask you to share something. You can talk about if you are on a weight loss journey yourself, you can tell me how you're doing. If you need an accountability partner, you can tell us all so that we can be there for you. If you want to say anything about anything I've said tonight, you can do that too. For those of you who are just joining, I've been talking about how when I'm disciplined, and I wasn't last week, with my weight loss journey, it leads to being disciplined in other areas of my life. So once I mastered or stuck to a plan of eating healthier foods, making healthier choices, then I added the exercise in, and then so the combination was helping me lose weight. Last week I didn't do any of that. So I know why I gained this week, and I'm okay with it. I know what to do. So we've been talking about that. I weighed myself in front of everyone, and I've gained 3 pounds since last week, which is, I know that sounds wacky, but I know exactly how I got there, and I know exactly what to do to get it off again. So I am, in that sense, I am disciplined, and I am determined to get back on track. So does anyone want to say anything about anything? Hello, Daisy.
Hello, Jill. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm here to say that I support you, even though you added a little bit of weight. That it's okay. I know you, and I know you're going to get back on track. So,
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah. I'm not worried. I know you're going to get back on track.
Well, thank you. And how have you been doing with doing yoga 3 times a week?
Well, I was out of town for most of last week, and I just got back on Sunday. And actually, I'm going to do yoga after this session for half an hour.
Oh, good.
And
Good
while
for
I was
you.
gone, the good thing is I did a lot of walking, so I can't say that I didn't get any exercise in because I actually did more walking than on a normal day. So I think I got some exercise in, and I managed to stay a little disciplined. I didn't go crazy last week, but I did have a little hard liquor. So when
Oh, you did?
I did. I totally forgot it was Lent for one, and that I'm not supposed to have it. But I just got swept up in a moment and had a little
I
hard liquor.
understand. I
So
understand,
I
but it
was just
sounds like for the most part you did well out of town, which is I'm glad that you brought that up because a lot of times when people travel out of town, that's when they lose all control. But you didn't do that, so I commend you for that.
Oh, thanks. It was not as hard as I thought because I was so busy. So that was the one good thing. I was too busy, and was tried to be mindful, but yeah. So it was a challenge a little bit, but I maintained. Although I must say I did not weigh myself when I returned, so not as brave as you. Not as brave
Well,
as you.
that can wait. That can wait. The only reason I did it is because I told everyone that's what I'm going to do every week, so I have to stick with that. But yours can wait.
Yeah, I'll do it on Sunday as I generally do. But I knew I didn't get home until late on Sunday, and I didn't want to do it on Monday. So, so that's all I came to say is I was thinking about you last week, and I'm glad to be back this week.
Well, wonderful. Thank you for being here. And thank you for your support. And I support you as well. In fact,
thank you.
Off the show, I'm gonna contact you, and so we could talk about your trip.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Jill.
Thank you. And does anyone else want to talk?
What?
Everybody good? Okay. Well, I guess I will move on to the next segment.
I can do it, I can do it. If I put my mind to it, if I put my mind to it, I can do it, do it, do it.
You don't know how much I really am telling myself that right now. I can do it. I can do this. I know I can do it. This is the segment where I tell you how I did with the goal I set for myself last week and the goal I am setting for myself this week. For the last 3 weeks, I have told you that my goal is to just get more sleep, is to get at least 7 hours of sleep. So far, I've only been able to do that, I think, maybe 2 nights, which is still not good. However, a bigger goal for this coming week will be to just get back on track. So that's a bigger goal for me. And then I'll work on the sleep another time because I do know how much sleep is linked to weight loss. But as I've said throughout this show, I can only work on one thing at a time or to get it right. So I just first and foremost need to get back on track, and then I will work on my sleep. So that's what I will talk about next week with you. So is how I'm doing on getting back on track. But like I said, I'm determined. I can do it. I can do it if I put my mind to it. If I put my mind to it, I can do it, do it, do it. So I can do it. All right. Well, I think that wraps up this show. Right, producer? Is there anything I missed?
No, I believe you have it all covered.
Okie dokie. Well, I am coming back next week, and I will weigh myself again next week. Sometimes I do it reluctantly, but I will do it. Next week, I am talking about, will weight loss change my life? That's a loaded question, isn't it? But I will talk about that. It's like, does weight loss magically change my life? I'll talk about that. And then in about an hour, Tony and I will do our show together called I'm Right, I'm Right. And tonight we're talking about, do you know your partner or your loved one better than they know themselves? Something to ponder. And as I said at the beginning of this show, at the top of the hour in about 5 minutes, Stefan has his show called The Conversation. It's still Women's History Month, so he'll be talking about that. And he invites you to be a conversationalist with him. So I hope that you watch him next. The music you're listening to right now is called Sunzalk International by Good Day Production. And the music that you heard during every segment is called Real Cool Sunglasses by That Core Beat. I thank my producer, my husband, Tony, for always helping me through. And I thank you, the audience, for always being my accountability partners. You're really great accountability partners. Couldn't ask for anyone better. So thank you. Thank you for being that. I hope to see you again next week.